welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who almost spent $122 on the Blu-ray or $56 on the DVD until he learned that this movie is currently streaming on Amazon Prime. It's John Levingood.
Dude, it is no joke. There have been like half a dozen times over the last 2 years I've looked this movie up, and every time it's like $100 used, $80 used.
Yeah. The best deal right now is $56 for a used DVD and $122 for the Blu-ray like multi-combo with the DVD.
Of a 1993 movie, which biggest bragging point is that it was Seth Green before he was famous and Clint Howard being ridiculous.
Yeah, it's I think it's a movie that's just what you think it's been built up in people's imagination because they couldn't buy it, and then I think I saw that. Oh, I need to see it, and then someone's trumpeting it.
It's funny. So I saw Ticks probably in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't see it again for 20 years, right? Like a couple weeks ago. And this is like the opposite of the way things normally go. Now I love it. And I think back then it was just something I giggled at when I was sharing, a 6-pack of beer with my 15-year-old friend or something, but now I love it. And I love some bad movies, but I love it.
I looked up a lot of the people who worked on this, and so K&B was involved. Kurtzman, Nicotero, and Berger all worked on it. The visual effect, effects masters who have done countless effects in many great films. Also, Doug Bestwick, the guy who did stop motion on Evil Dead 2, Empire Strikes Back, Aliens, Beetlejuice, other types of like 3D motion, Blade, Ghostbusters, The Howling, Darkman, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Star Wars: A New Hope, and American Werewolf in London. This guy, Doug Bestwick, worked on this. So, and then I guess you add in the director who had experience with Hellraiser 2, Tony Randall. Mm-hmm. And then, the writer wrote Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Halo 4. He wrote episodes for Star Trek Enterprise and Star Wars Rebels. So this movie,
interesting mishmash of people.
This movie did, and most of the actors involved moved on to really good careers, or they stayed working for a long time. So this movie was this very tiny, 1993 direct-to-DVD VHS thing that had talent, except for the sound person behind the camera.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else? I guess, I say Seth Green before he was famous, but it had, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah.
And this was in the middle of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
So that's probably what got people to really buy this, unless they already knew who Clint Howard was.
As Panic.
With the terrible name.
Yeah, who the first time. And I just want to say, real quick, throughout this movie, I'm going to be saying the words insects, bugs. I understand that there are, 90,000 documented species of insects and bugs around. And so my myriapods, my cephalopods, my arachnids. I'm just going to use bugs or insects.
Fair.
So
Fair.
If you hear me say that a tick is not an arachnid but a bug, because a tick is technically an arachnid, correct?
It's right. Yeah.
So if you hear me call it a bug, don't scream at your mic, because there's a lot to juggle here. And I googled everything to make sure that I knew that it was an arachnid, but I just want to say bugs and insects.
Nothing wrong with that. Bug is a fair word. Bug is like a creepy crawly, not really sure what it is, generalized term for, I'd say, anyone but an entomologist.
Yeah. There we go. That's what, I knew I had to use that language with you, because I knew that you would,
Well, actually, it's a flibbity-flobbity, flibbity-floop.
Exactly. Oh, well, tell me more about that. Flibbity-flobbity, flibbity-floop. Were they indigenous to New Zealand?
Yeah.
They can grow to 3 feet long, can't they?
The 3 feet floop.
Yeah.
That's also known as the nope floop.
The nope floop. I heard you caught one.
A death floop.
Yeah, but when you catch it in New Zealand, you have to let it go.
It's a catch and release floop policy.
But didn't they get into Latvia? And they're extremely
they're eating all the root vegetables there. They're pestiferous there.
Yeah, they're an invasive species. But since they're technically endangered, no one can touch them, but they're just munching their way through Latvia.
Poor Latvia.
Do you think they're going to put, in South Florida for a while, that if you caught a python, you got paid for it? Do you think they're going to do that for flibbity-flobbity, flibbity-floops in Latvia?
They should. They probably should. Especially if those things are anything like the buggy ticky things in this.
Yeah, oh my goodness. These buggy ticky things, they're mean. And they're literally on steroids.
Yeah. So, okay. Are we diving in?
Yeah.
Are we gonna,
oh man, we're diving in like Indiana Jones' arm in Temple of Doom when he goes into that thing.
So this movie starts, right, with, like, when this movie starts, we're seeing, like, some kind of a machine running, right, in like, a barn or something. And this barn has something akin to a basement or something, right, under it, some underlevel. And this machine is releasing goo. I thought, for half the damn movie, I thought that was motor oil. Right? Because what else would it, like, I thought that, like, the guy was just lubricating the cogs or the turbine and whatever this machine was, and it's Clint Howard. And I thought that Clint Howard at first, for like an hour, I thought that he was like a machinist hired or some kind of a maintenance guy / machinist doing something in there. And it's got this goop again that looks like you're pouring a quart when your oil's low. Except if it falls down the cracks in the floor and then it lands on something that looks like a larva of some sort, which ticks don't have, but it's okay, movie. I love you anyway.
Well, in this universe, they have them.
Right. In this universe, ticks have larvae that look like unsheathed testicles, an eyeball with the skin ripped off. I mean, they look weird.
Now,
it looks like an organ.
I have to say something. You mentioned goo, and there are a lot of squish noises in this movie.
So many squish noises.
Now I know why you love it. I mean, there are shots. There's a sound in this movie that's literally... It lands on a person's face. A larvae drops on someone's face and goes... How happy were you?
Dude, that was that big brain-shaped looking cocoon larval sac glob. Oh, that was great. I love those things. So you talked about all the effects people behind this, and we know Tony Randall, if for no other reason than from Hellraiser 2, he really likes gory, fleshy things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we see, I'm going to make up a number, but we might see these kind of cocoon-like things, right? These larval cocoon things in like 8 different scenes. But every time, it's not like a lot of B horror movies where you're basically seeing the exact same prop and they just placed it somewhere else. Every time, these look like new props presented in different ways, in different light. Sometimes they're pulsating, sometimes there are tons of them. Sometimes they damage one and it drains gobbledygook. And like, they always look different and they do different things with them. And I really appreciate what I call like the diversity of effects that we see. And just based on the cover of a 1993 direct-to-video movie, you'd assume it's something where you go the whole movie and you never see anything, and then in the last 5 minutes you see a monster once,
Yeah, this is a movie, and Tony Randall also worked on Escape from New York and Galaxy of Terror, which is pretty cool.
Galaxy of Terror.
Yeah.
Now that is a gross 1981 movie.
He loves his stuff.
With Robert Englund before he did Freddy Krueger.
And so, like, this movie, I think they went really heavy on pre-pro in regards to the effects and the stop motion and the large creatures and the practical effects. But as far as sound and camera work, they hired good actors. They really did. And all these people are working actors. But the sound and camera work on this movie was second.
Oh, I mean, yeah. And normally, I'll sometimes notice what I would call great camera work or photography, but I seldom notice bad photography. I don't have the eye for that like you do. I just notice when something's like, holy crap, like what a cool shot.
Yeah. But
I don't necessarily notice all the middle and low ground. In this, there were shots from just like, did someone just set the camera on a chair?
Yep.
And right? You know what I'm talking about?
That's like very static shots. There's a scene where he walks. I'm nitpicky here, and these guys are effects guys who, a lot of times when stuntmen walk in, like stuntmen become directors or effects guys become directors, they don't focus on the camera because they've been so busy with the minutia of the effects. But there's a couple times where they just set a camera on like a chair and then let it roll, and it kind of took me. And the sound in this was pretty subpar, but eventually you kind of fall for how just weird it is. I mean, this is Deliverance meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets a bug movie.
Meets the cocoon scene from Gremlins. But no, so a lot of these shots were really bad. But again, the high pacing of the special effects and the non-redundancy of the special effects. That's the other thing. These ticks, we see them scrambling really fast. We see him scrambling slow enough that we can see them. We see him scrambling in stop motion. Sometimes something's just pulling him across the floor. Sometimes it's they pick one up and it's like animatronic.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of work behind this.
At one point, there's a big, probably like a stick puppeteered monster towards the end. Like, I can't get over how much I appreciate that in what is not an expensive movie. Yeah,
these guys, these visual effects guys, they come from really independent films. So you watch a lot of I don't know if you've watched it yet, but you watch these Nightmare on Elm Street documentaries or the Friday the 13th documentaries, and there wasn't much money. I mean, they had money, but these guys were running gun. They were not sleeping. They were rolling. So they're
making it up as they go.
Yeah, exactly.
The special effects.
Because, I mean, like they said, like it's something new each time. So you take the same foundation in, but it's a new creature. So these guys are just, it was a 5-week shoot from what I read. I would say about 25 days. And I guarantee all that. I get that they filmed the acting in 3 days. And then the rest of it was just bugs.
I believe that. A lot of this acting could have very well been one take. Yeah. Now, unless someone sneezed in the middle of a line, and even then they'd probably keep it.
There is one scene in here that's kind of emotional. So I guess the plot of this movie is 6 kids who are kind of troubled kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go out into Big Bear in California with 2 adults just to do this retreat. And as this guy says it, there's this dude watching them, and he's basically saying, nature's the antagonist, but I don't think it's going to unite them because they're going to go back to their old ways of life that are adapted to outside. The older guy that came with him.
Dude, who, by
Charles.
the way, he's like narrating his journal. He is simply the boyfriend of the woman who put this together.
Yeah.
So the woman who put it together is a social worker, and this is just her boyfriend, and he's like narrating like some psychiatrist in The Exorcist or something.
So there's a scene where these kids, they're all from the city, so they don't really know about lighting a fire. And they light this fire that goes comically huge. And Charles runs out, and he just starts screaming at these kids. I mean, he's letting them have it, right? He's just the boyfriend of a social worker is just screaming at these kids. But I kind of love what the kids were saying. Alfonso, he's like, I've never lit a fire before. And then the other kid's like, don't look at me, I didn't do it.
Yeah, so, he actually said no one's ever taught us how to light a fire. And they're out there in the wilderness.
Yeah, and so I heard it, and I was like, oh, wow, I mean, these kids have a point. This guy went out there and lost it on them. And they're like, and then, of course, if you blame one of them, they're going to get mad because why are you blaming me? There's everyone else. So it turned into this interesting dynamic for about 3 seconds that perked my ears up. But then they were like, yeah, you're just too busy banging Holly. He's like, well, I'll teach you guys how to do a fire tomorrow because I'm busy now.
Right, you're busy trying to get it.
Yeah, it's just, who is this guy Charles? Like,
So I've seen it twice in a week, right, or in a couple weeks, and I don't think they ever said. I suspect that he's some dude working 80 hours a week in some accounting or law firm trying to make partners, so he's always crabby.
Yeah, just the classic overworked dad, because he has a daughter that he brings on this too.
Right, his daughter is there, but not because she's troubled. She's just there.
Yeah.
And that's Amy Dolenz, who it turns out is in a bunch of other horror movies, among which are Witchboard 2.
Oh, wait, is that Amy Dolenz? Or is that, I thought Dee Dee, the girlfriend from, the girl who was with Rome, wasn't that? And then Melissa.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. That's her. Yeah. That's her. But I thought his daughter was Dee Dee.
But all of these people have acted, though.
Okay.
I had to get their names because I forgot their names.
Oh, I've got it for me. It's just the punk and his ditzy girlfriend or whatever. Yep. Wait. Okay. So when they drop these kids off,
I didn't get that scene.
When they drop the kids off, they're dropping them off somewhere where like the Terminator is trying to hide, John Connor from the T-1000 in that L.A. alley, what drainage ditch or something. It's like an underpass by a harbor. Seth Green's dad drops him off. I thought that kid was going to get mugged.
Yeah.
And then all the kids meet there and they get picked up there. Interesting place to choose to drop off kids and leave them alone. But so the punk who's always working out and his girlfriend show up in a BMW.
Yep.
Did they just leave it there?
I think so. And did they get it from the IRS? And
there's There's so many weird things in this movie.
He obviously didn't steal it. Maybe Dee Dee is rich and she's just acting out. Because remember when Rome asked her dad for one, and the dad said he would buy him one if he just drove it straight to Mexico and never came back?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's terrible.
And then there's a really weird scene where the kid looks at Seth Green, and the kid, Rome, goes, "Do I look Mexican to you?" And Seth Green just goes, "Yeah." I'm like, wait, what? And we're not even talking about Panic, played by Alfonso, busting out a switchblade.
There's a lot of charm in this. There was also, we're talking about weird, like, comical moments when Seth Green is looking at Panic, and he says, "Hey, you haven't killed anybody." He says, "Well, let's put it this way. I've offed about as many people as girls you've been with." He's like, "That many?"
Yeah. Yeah, there's some little moments. And did you notice there was a sign that spelled marijuana wrong?
No.
Yeah, there's a sign that, instead of the J, it's an H.
No.
Marijuana.
So wait, we're later in the movie, we learn that, so on the way to the camp, they stop at a gas station, which would normally be our Harbinger scene.
Mm-hmm.
And they bump into the creepiest, 40-something-year-old dude who is licking the window at these teenage girls, right? Like, just being nasty. And his weird, quasi-sophisticated rich boss.
So I'm thinking he's the owner of all the weed and all the mills. And then that guy's his henchman.
Right. And they're warning, why would you say anything? But these kids are good at, the group is going camping. He's like, "You better watch out for the local cash crop farmers, this, that, and the other." And, they're warning them about the people running drugs and stuff. And then a little later, we learn that Clint Howard apparently worked for them. Not that they really identify that, because they talk about the herbal steroid that we learn about in a veterinary office, which someone identifies by scent.
And they squish a bug in there, which you love.
Right, that they're using to grow the pot. And apparently that herbal steroid was what I thought was the motor oil in Clint Howard's machine. So Clint Howard was grinding down marijuana? I don't know what.
I think so. I think they were just hydroponics at the time. I think he was working with it because they were using the mills that shut down to do that. The weed dealing in this was kind of like the weed dealing in the Friday the 13th remake, where it was an open secret. The vet knew about it. The cop knew about it. Everyone knew about it. They're just like, just stay away from it. You'll be fine. Would Creepy Jury and that guy have messed with them? Had they not gone there?
The writing isn't awesome. It's like, I couldn't hazard a guess. But so this Clint Howard guy, right? He works for the drug people. Yeah. Right? And he accidentally
he's their Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Right. He's their Walter White, apparently. He's their chemist. So he seems like to be a totally kind of, even though he's dirty and he's in his weird, he's making tea when we first meet him in like the opening scene. And at first I thought it was like, drugs or something. But no, he takes a sip of his tea. He just puts the tea back and says, "That's top notch." And he had a straight face. It may as well have been Earl Grey. Like, he just seemed like a nice dude who just happened to be getting a paycheck, who then got eaten up by ticks.
And he had no health insurance, which he says.
Oh, definitely not. He's listening to like the radio.
I do like that thing though. He did take a nice sip of tea and like almost like a connoisseur. He took it and went, "Ooh, it's nice." Like, he got it. He got that tea.
Dude, I felt so badly.
And at the end, he's just saying, "Shoot me." He's not trying to shoot somebody. He's trying to give a girl a gun, Dee Dee, a gun so that she can shoot him.
Boy, and so when he first sees those ticks that build to that, that's when this movie looks like what you expect it to be before you've seen it, where the ticks are like, the legs are probably moving on animatronic, but they're pulling it with a fishing line really fast along the ground. Mm-hmm. Practically, he's walking around, he steps in a little varmint trap. Oh, that sucked.
Yeah, why?
And then
wait, in the Friday the 13th remake, he steps on a varmint trap too. There's a lot of comparisons here.
Dude, Ticks has got to sue. Tony Randall has got. But so it's like that happens. Then the cocoon falls on his face.
Squish.
Right. And we learn that it's almost like the egg's an alien. Like they are immediately just ferocious the moment they come out of their little cocoon egg thing, larva state. And so that lands on his face. The next time we see him, they are under his skin. That much. Can you imagine how much that would hurt?
Be horrifying.
Because every time they move and you see the bump moving under your skin, they are separating the epidermis from like the muscle tissue. There's a lot of connective tissue in there. Like they're just like, oh, that would be awful. It ends up eventually in his face, which is like one of the most famous scenes in the movie where Clint Howard, his cheek has this huge softball sized tick under his cheek. And his whole face is messed up. Yeah, he's yelling, "Shoot me," at this poor girl. Like he went full tilt.
Yeah. I mean,
that was lunacy.
Is that full tilt or is that Clint Howard at normal?
Well, that's just it. This movie, I didn't see the weird zany Clint Howard that I'd see in Leprechaun 2, that I'd see in Ice Cream Man. He wasn't even as zany as he was in Far and Away with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Like in this, he was very straight. And then when he was in pain, like I believed he was in pain.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah.
It wasn't like Roger Rabbit cuckoo infested. He was like total loss of motor function. Like I felt that's the one character I felt badly for in the whole movie when something happens to him.
The makeup must have helped get him into character. I know he's an actor, but that makeup was pretty gnarly. So I imagine to get into character, you just look at yourself in a mirror. You're kind of there, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was that huge, again, just the size of a softball. Under his skin. And it made his eye look weird, too.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And then he just kind of, you see him later when Dee Dee she thinks her boyfriend is him.
Right.
And also, this is really weird, but like when that guy Charles is talking into his little recorder, there's just that full-on leg shot of Dee Dee.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? I'm like, wait, how old is this? I thought it was the teacher. And when they showed her, I'm like, wait a second, what? How old is this kid?
Yep.
That was a weird thing, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
No, I remember feeling the exact same thing. There's some weird stuff in this. So the daughter, Seth Green, kind of has a thing for her.
Yeah, they almost smooch.
They almost smooch. He saves her when a larva cocoon thing gets on her back and it like bites the stick and then runs off with the stick. But when they were walking through the woods, we come to see that these gobbledygooky, brainy, organ-like cocoons are all over everything. Fallen tree logs, standing trees, rocks. They are everywhere.
Yep. People
just aren't noticing them because they're not they don't glow or anything, but like, because we hear the pulsating sound effects.
Yeah.
As they're walking along, we see them everywhere now, and we realize, like, these people are screwed.
Done. Now, I have a question, John. A mass outbreak happens. What's going to happen? Now, obviously, these don't follow the rules of any bug in the world. But what happens if 1 million of these get unleashed?
Well, it's interesting because this follows something we brought up a lot of times where I say that a zombie in a zombie movie, a movie zombie, is inversely as dangerous as the number of zombies on the screen.
Yeah, it's true.
Because when there was just one and running around, and Clint Howard, when we first meet him, that thing is terrifying. It's fast as sin. He can't do anything. And then the second one falls on his face and he's done, right? But then at the very end of the movie, they're going to be in a house and they're everywhere. And eventually, even though you see like 50 running towards Seth Green, he's fending them all off with a torch. And we've seen how fast they are. We've seen them jump like face huggers. Like he'd be done.
They were getting swept into the fire.
Right. But he was having no problem with it. It was and oddly easy.
He touched one of them with fire, correct? And it exploded.
Yeah, that literally exploded. That happened once. Yeah. And so, it's like, so at the end of the movie, it seems like a very different movie than the beginning of the movie in terms of the menace that these creatures impose. So from the beginning of the movie, I'd say, oh, everyone's dead. You could run the scenario 1,000 times and everyone's dead. At the end of the movie, I guess I buy it. Like
the dead dog scene when Panic is holding him monologuing, how'd that make you feel?
Oh yeah, I felt
he loved
bad.
that dog.
Yeah, well, that all his hard ass stuff, like he clearly doesn't have friends. He's in this troubled camp. He's talking a lot of nonsense to someone who we really knew in the beginning of the movie was probably just another one of the kids at the camp. And he's like, if you don't make this basket like it's Escape from New York. You don't make this basket, I'm gonna off you.
Yeah, he said stab him in the, like, you're gonna be limping
Or something.
if you brick. I tried to write it down, but I just was, I don't even know what he said. I'd have to close caption it.
So that dog's his friend. That dog is the one who doesn't judge him, and he doesn't judge back. And we saw, and also when the dog first gets infected, right?
Yeah.
Like you saw it just like quaking on the ground, like more than a seizure. Like I thought it was going to explode when I first saw it, just with ticks.
Because these things can get in you and lay eggs, right? So then they explode from out of you.
Apparently, like I don't know all their rules, but they reproduce very quickly, clearly.
Oh man.
And so they take the dog to the vet, and this scene is a combination of a very playful riff off of Ripley and Newt when they got locked into that room with the face hugger by the Bad Business Wayland Yutani guy.
Paul Reiser,
right. It's like a riff between that and then just and again Roger Rabbit silliness, because they pull this tick out of that animal. The animatronic starts going off. It's running across the floor with now, for the first time in the movie, awesome animatronics. I mean, awesome. Down to like a facial posturing when it's looking around with the syringe stuck in it. It's jumping.
I remember that. Yeah.
It's they're even doing the thing where they're checking the top of a shelf and it's up there and it leaps out. Like this was a really, really fun scene. God.
And when in doubt, squish it.
Which is funny because in the very beginning of the movie, we're introduced to the fact that ticks are so difficult to kill that even an itty bitty one, you can't squish it. You have to burn it. And then later you get a big one and she's just like stomp, done.
Yeah, she was all chill about it too.
I guess it was also all filled with blood.
Oh yeah, I just like the sound effect. Listen, any chance for a squish, I'm all in. Now, I have another question. So, after the dog dies, Panic goes off. He wants to go back to L.A., and Seth Green's going to keep his secret. While he's out there, he gets attacked by a bug. This bug attaches to his thigh. Now, he cuts open his pants with a knife, right? And then he doesn't use the knife again, and he's trying to pull the tick from his leg. What do you think about that?
Sounds to me like almost what would happen with a real life tick, just on a bigger scale. It's going to tear out a chunk of you.
But he didn't cut it. So he had a blade that he cut his pants open with, and then he tried to pull the thing.
With that thing's grip, though, like it's just going to tear a chunk out of you if you succeed.
But couldn't you just stab it in the head and it'd still be stuck in you? But at least he'd be dead, because then it goes up his leg.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for him to stab it, and he never did. But then he stabbed the guy later in the leg.
Yeah, I guess it facilitates the.
That would have been more money for the budget.
I guess a scene like this is kind of like, and I once asked my actor uncle about this, who was in Lurking Fear and Trancers 2, for all you fans out there. But so I once asked him as an actor, what's the deal with all these like kidnappers just shoving a cloth in someone's mouth and then they're gagged and they can't get it out? That would not happen unless you jammed it so far in that they might literally choke on it. And his answer is, oh yeah, no, it's because the director thinks that the audience will allow it.
I mean, in that movie, it works.
Right. And so, but I think that like, that's what we're seeing. We're just seeing the thing that facilitates the scene. And because if you were realistic about it, it wouldn't be much of a scene.
Yeah. It's like,
or maybe he's just panicking.
It's like Christopher. Yeah, I guess I've never had a tick inside my leg.
We can't call it. That's why it's not. They don't call him Panic because he never does. They call him Panic because he's going to get it the worst.
Yeah, he does. But you know what though? When he gets attacked by the farmers, he beats the living daylights out of them. He has some good lines.
That was mean.
Yeah, he goes. We're gonna get our PG-13 rating here. He goes, "You fuck, you country fuck." He just starts wailing on the dude. But of course, they have the very 90s lines. You know, they call him a wannabe gangster. Then they start calling each other, you know, like great slurs. But that's just such a. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Did you?
No. But also, like, that scene had a lot of weird things about it. Like, that was the only truly mean scene in the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that movie felt like it was in the hard R, no giggles to be had movie, you know?
Yeah, the Deliverance movie.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Like, it felt like Yes, they're just beating the snot out of him. Like, that was mean.
He's laying there unconscious, bleeding, and are you trying to steal from us? Well, no.
I'm lost. I'm wearing a backwards hat and a trench coat and kicks.
And I'm bleeding. I'm not trying to steal your weed.
And regardless of the actor's real age, he's like 17 or 16.
Yeah. I didn't understand that scene. And I didn't understand why those characters were even in it.
Dude, those characters do so many weird. So there was the gas station thing. They talk about drugs when there's no reason to talk about. All they did was let people know, hey, our drugs are out there. Please don't take them.
It's an open secret that it must be in this town, right?
And then remember when before this scene that we're talking about now happens, and before the dog happens, the two drug dealer guys, the boss and his lackey, they come by a cookout. Remember, they stopped by the cookout, like, hey there, and he's hitting on the girls again, the skeezy one. Yeah. Like, they are so present. They are just asking for someone to go snoop around their drugs.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be gone for the weekend. Don't go near our drugs. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, otherwise we'll have a problem. It's like, oh, you must have a lot if you're threatening us with a gun, and we're a bunch of troubled teenagers. Like, we're not interested in marijuana. Like, I'm just like, it's so crass.
And that's another reason why Friday the 13th, the remake, Jason has that weed. In the beginning, people go out there for the weed.
And they deserve that.
Yeah.
That's why Jason kills people.
So Jason's a pot farmer in the remake. I'm pretty sure.
And a humble hater of connoisseurs of perfect nipple symmetry.
And he's a great archer.
Yeah. Well, he was a great archer in a couple of the movies.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Crack shot. No arrows in this movie, though.
While we're talking about drugs earlier, like, remember they talk about the hallucinations that the ticks induce?
Yeah, they're walking around tripping.
And so before they're kicking the crap out of Carlton, right, Panic, before they he's suffering one of these hallucinations, and it's so like you could eliminate from that from the movie and you'd never notice anything was missing.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was at a club.
Yeah.
Like he was at some kind of a shady club, like a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 club. Like, and then all of a sudden he encounters the drug dealers in the dream, and then they're beating him up and he's out of the hallucination. Like, these hallucinations, that was a throwaway. They could have had a lot of fun with that.
Well, this movie's 82 minutes, right? So
right.
I guess
82.
You need to crack 80 with these kinds of movies, because then you can add the commercials in to hit your 2 hours. You know what? There's 20 minutes for each hour of ads. So you add that in, you got a 2-hour movie. That's just enough to get the deal. So they probably had to come up with ways to pad this running time.
You know, it's interesting, though. You could have done that with so many other dumb scenes, just with a little added dialogue, because, again, I'm going to return to the fact there are so many effect scenes. There's great pacing for the effects. You could just add oh, what are you here for? Oh, this, that, and the other. Like, you could have had the kids sitting around a campfire for 3 minutes telling their stories, and there could even be something funny in there. It costs almost nothing. What I mean? Like,
yeah, you're right. I did like, well, they have very tiny moments of character development. So the one girl, her name is, who's really good with a broom. I have her name up here. Her name is Kelly. She's walking with Melissa to go fishing, and she's just like, yeah, your dad's girlfriend really helped me. She's like, when I was raped. And I was like, what? Did you hear that line? And then, and then you have Rome and Dee Dee. I don't know what their issue is, but I think, what is their issue? What is their issue?
I don't even know.
Because she does say something funny about the ozone. She's like, I got to stay in the shade because the ozone thing. But she's in the sun.
She's not very smart. She's just not very smart, Mark. That's all that is.
Or maybe she's going with him to this. Hey, there it is. Oh.
Maybe, but you know what though? Because, like, she's super rich. She's dating a guy that she knows her dad hates.
Yep.
She's even if and they're vocal about it. So she's acting out. She might be acting out in other ways. Maybe she got caught drinking a lot or something.
What did you think about Seth Green's progression? Because his dad, when he was younger, left him in the woods for 2 days.
Right.
And he just hugged a tree. And ever since then, he's been hearing voices, and it's not good for him to be alone. But I like though when he says, "I want to get better." What did you think about his character arc? He becomes brave at the end.
I think that considering the movie that we're talking about right now, they did a very good job with it, right?
Yeah.
For a movie, period, it's just one of the better developments of the film.
So his dad just left him in the woods for 2 days because he was drunk.
Right, and then he split.
And then in the beginning, the dad just dumps him off again because you'll get better?
Well, I thought this was a stepdad.
Oh.
I thought his dad left him in the woods and split for good.
Oh.
That's what I thought happened. Because I don't remember much talk about it, but when he said, my father took me out in the woods and then he split and no one found me for like 2 days. And then this other guy is dropping him off and he's a little, tough guy about it, but he's not mean about it.
Yeah, I guess he's doing something good for him to do this.
I think this is a stepdad.
Oh, or a foster parent.
Or something to that tune.
Interesting. I mean, there's some moments like that fire moment. I'm telling you, it resonated with me.
So as we're exploring, right, and we see more and more scenes of these clusters of cocoons.
Yeah.
And at one point, his love interest, was it the basement of the house where she saw a wall just covered in these things?
Yep. No, wait, that was Dee Dee.
Right.
When she walked into the farm where Clint Howard was.
Oh, there. Okay. Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I have a line that you will love. I wrote, "She starts staring at the goo in the barn."
Ooh.
You like it? John loves goo.
I do. No. So that really made me think though of like the Queen Alien's lair, or again, like when all those, or like when you see all of, in Billy's, attic bedroom when the mom comes up and there are all those cocoons and one of them budges a little bit, that scene just really made me think Gremlins and Aliens.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it also made me think they're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not getting out of here.
They are so screwed.
And there's a surprisingly low body count in this movie. I guess you're not going to kill a lot of teenagers.
Yeah, it's like a couple bad guys and Carlton.
Yeah, but he gets shot in the side.
But I mean the fate of his body, if you will.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, how about this? Let's take a break, and because we got a lot to talk about on this, let's take a break. Okay. When we come back, we'll talk about the human bug tick thing, the Grundle Carlton. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And John, when panic started turning into a Grundle panic.
A Grundle panic.
A Grundle, whatever. A Scooby. Wait, what'd you call it? A flippity flap? What was your thing earlier?
A flippity floop. No, so, I like the Brundle tick. That's good. That's a good cut right there.
The Brundle tick. How?
So there's no reason for this, right? Like this movie has given us no reason to think that what we're about to see is okay even in this world.
Okay.
Even in this world of ridiculous, herbal steroided up ticks. Vita-rays. Vita-rayed up ticks. But this thing, and it's funny you say Brundle tick because the way that it bursts out of him at first, because it's coming out of his knees, it made me think of two things. It made me think of The Fly, and it made me think of when the gargoyle emerges from the woman in Tales from the Dark Side.
Got it.
That kind of transformation. This was a very impressive scene where a tick that's basically as big as Carlton rips out of Carlton. His head splits. The limbs are piercing their way out of his joints. The whole body splits open in the middle. What really got me about this effect, by the way, not just that it was gory and sloppy and gooey, because I do love that. It's that as it's tearing away, there's layers of it. It's not just the latex fleshy goo. There's also this kind of whitish connective tissue tearing tendon happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the guts themselves in addition to the blood. Like, they went all out on this effect.
Well, yeah, they had Can B and some big names on this doing this. So this was what the movie was about, right? This was it.
But it didn't need it.
No.
You know, like a lot of movies, this is all you would get, and there would be no monster like anywhere else, just a tick being pulled on a clothing line. You know what I mean? And then you'd see this at the end. That's all their budget. This film would have been fine without this. But when I saw this, I was just like, whoa! Like, this thing is insane. This giant tick comes out of him. And by the way, so we were talking about how there's not a high body count. Poor Carlton, though, man. He gets bitten by a tick. He gets beaten the crap out of. I mean, brutally beaten the crap out of by these marijuana farming dudes. He gets shot.
Right in the side.
And then after he is dead, his body is torn in half, a la Dead Alive Peter Jackson.
And this is a character who you tried to give character development to. You killed his dog. He became friends with Seth Green. And then he just gets wiped out.
They pulled a Game of Thrones. They just executed Eddard Stark in front of us. Like, dude, like Tony Randall was Game of Throning before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's. But when he became full Brundle tick, wasn't that dangerous? Not much really happened because one of the marijuana farmers got bit in the neck and killed in the car. Mm-hmm. And then how'd the other guy die? He just gets thrown around.
I think he just got remember, because it was like raining, like they were just dropping rubber ticks from the ceiling.
So the ascot guy got smushed.
The ascot guy.
and then I think it was just pulling on Rome a little bit at the end. And then Seth Green saved the day with a hot broom.
It's about right. And that's where it didn't make sense. The menace of the ticks.
Why is Charles not running in?
That guy, I don't know. I didn't like his character.
He came out hot, yelling.
Yeah, you'd think that his temperament might have helped in a situation like this, where he's just so angry at the ticks he starts beating the crap out of them. But it didn't happen. When it started raining rubber ticks, he was panicking like everyone else.
Yeah, and so Seth Green, with his issues, saves the day.
Yeah, it was nice.
You could see him as an actor, though. I mean, so this was made at the same time as we just potted about Airheads. Not Airheads, Airborne, and Airheads we potted about. But Airborne just came out. He was in that, and we just did Idle Hands. So this is my third in a trilogy of Seth Green movies from the 90s. I need to cover a lot more. But, I mean, he moved to a lot. Well, he was good in this movie, though, don't you think? He showed promise.
Well, I mean, whatever he was in before this, I can't even think of.
He was in It. He had been doing some work.
It was like 1990 or 91, that TV series. Yeah.
So I mean, he was a working actor, but maybe this is his first big teenage thing.
He did all right. Yeah, he fared okay. He fared way better than most leads you'd expect in a movie. Again, video era 90s horror film that didn't go to theaters. You don't expect much. And you said before, so yeah, there are a few performances in here that very much eclipse the expected quality of a movie like this.
Well, they tested it for theaters, but that got a quick no.
That's too bad.
But you look at these actors, go through their IMDb's, they stay busy. That guy, Charles, Peter Scolari, dude works. He hasn't stopped working. None of these people have stopped working. So, I mean, that's good. But,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So what were any final things about this movie? Anything else you want to really cover?
Yeah, this is just one funny thing. So when we were joking about, like, why did that happen with the big giant tick? Like, in the movie, like I said, there's no reason for that to happen other than it's a cool thing for some effects people to do. But so before this movie, right, and not by a huge margin, but like 5 years before this movie, a bunch of 80s horror movies did this thing where you have a whole lot of a bad thing, and towards the end of the movie, we're going to give you a big version of that same bad thing.
Yep. Ghostbusters.
So, The Gate.
Yep.
Bunch of little demons. Big version of it, Demon God at the end. Ghoulies 2. 1988, I think. At the end, they summoned a really big ghoulie to kill all the little ghoulies. In Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Mm-hmm.
there was the giant killer clown, and in Critters, there was the giant critter.
The ball?
No, that was Critters 2.
Oh.
In Critters 1,
oh, yeah.
there was one giant critter. So it's like, and these movies are 86, 87, 87, and 88. And these are just I didn't look this up. This is just what popped into my head as I was taking down notes. So like, there was a theme of this about the bigger version of all the little monsters at the end.
Oh, I love it.
It's just a funny little thing, I guess. I don't know how else to verbalize it than that, but it's just a fun. I'm sure
I smell an article. I smell an article coming along here.
I don't even know what to call that theme, but this is a thing.
Yeah, I do have to say though, this is also random, but Ascot guy was really good at shooting lights at the end.
Why is it that when those things first started coming down, before it was like totally full on a deluge of raining ticks, right? Where there was a hole and there's like two props guys just frisbeeing them down as fast as they can. Like there was a sack they were unloading of plastic ticks. Before it hit that level and there were just a few ticks in the house, that guy was a crack shot at shooting ticks.
Yep. He was wiping them.
And when it started raining ticks, but before he was overtaken, all of a sudden you triple the targets and he can't hit anything.
He was like Doc Holliday.
Those things would be really hard to shoot.
Yeah, he was nailing them.
Like shooting a bunch of scrambling mice in a room, that would be difficult.
That's a horrible visual.
I'm just saying. So he went in like a minute from a crack shot to like someone who left the safety on.
Yeah, he went from shooting fish in an ocean to not hitting fish in a barrel.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
But hey, so we had a question right from Jesse Deal.
From Buddy Deal.
Buddy Deal. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Jesse. So, Buddy, he wanted to know if we had any real life terror stories of bugs, right?
Right.
So I don't have a terror story, but I was playing golf one time and I'm allergic to bees, and a bee stung my hand, or bit, whatever it does, stung my hand. And my when you blow up one of those medical gloves that you blow it up and it's just puffed out. That's what my hand looked like. It was horrible. I couldn't play golf anymore. And I walked around with a club hand.
How did that feel using that? Could you use your hand?
Oh, no. I had to stop.
Did it hurt anytime you touched anything?
Oh, yeah, it was bad. Well, it blew up. It looked like a thing. And then I took some Benadryl, and then I decided to wait for it to go get better. But that was, when you're young and your hand blows up like a little glove, that freaked me out, man. And
I got a bunch of bug stories, but honestly, it's like they're not scary if you don't live it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to put it. So like there was a time that I was in Costa Rica. I was 200 feet up in this catwalk that was made just so that people could do canopy research, but it's just in the middle of this rainforest in Costa Rica. So it's not like it's a developed area. And you hook in, right? Like you're mountain climbing, you latch a carabiner on so that if you start to fall, it'll catch your belt.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm up there, and while I'm up there, I have a light and a sheet to attract bugs 200 feet up in the canopy, and this huge roach, and I have this specimen. This huge roach, it was probably 2.5 to 3 inches long. And people say like, oh, I've got roaches like that. No, trust me, if you saw this roach next to the roach you're thinking of, this roach could eat your roach.
This is the Brundle tick.
It's a big, wide one. It is. It was big, wide thing. It's shaped, Mark, I'm going to hold this up so it's shaped like this. Like this thing is a beast.
So it kind of looked like a Twinkie.
Right. And it landed, and I heard it land. It sounded like someone dropped a big plastic tick toy next to my feet. And that thing, I saw it, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's that roach. Maybe I'll grab it when it climbs up the sheet to get to the light. It climbed up my pant leg. It climbed up my pant leg, and this thing is built like an armored vehicle. So I'm hitting, and I mean hitting as hard as I can, my calf through my pants, and it is not hurting it. It is just like the Ticks movie. It's not hurting it. It keeps climbing up. But while I'm up there, I am losing my balance, and I almost fall over the side.
Wow.
Because the side of this thing, this catwalk, it's only a foot wide, and then it kind of V's wider for the handles, but it only goes 3 feet high, and I'm 6'3". And even though I'm clipped in, I have to stop and wonder if at a high speed, you know, if I like really tumbled over there at 200 pounds, would that thing have broke?
Woof.
That roach, no joke, could have killed me.
So,
and I have that roach.
I would put rubber bands or tie my pant legs or tuck them into my socks.
Well, that's, sometimes you do that stuff like when you're out in the field during the day because you're worried about ants, especially army ants, right?
Yeah.
But I'm 200 feet up. I'm not thinking about anything like that. And plus you were climbing up, so it probably wouldn't stay anyway. But no, there was none of that worry. That thing got up my pant leg. And this process, like in my head, this lasted 90 seconds. It probably really lasted 6 seconds.
How funny would it have been if you you unbuckle your pants and you're trying to grab it and the big light shines on you and you...
Dude, I'm sure, but that terrified me. And when that thing flew in, I thought it was a bat. No, really, because its wingspan is like 6 inches, and it makes this plastic kind of flapping sound because their wings it's not like a hummingbird. It's a big, clumsy flyer. Yeah. I thought a bat was coming at me. It lands, it makes a loud noise, goes up my pant leg. And again, like if you're not living this, but my heart rate, I was probably like that little dwarf bunny in the kindergarten after it's been handled by 48 kids in every which way. Like its heart feels like it's going to explode out of its chest. That's it probably doesn't sound scary to listeners. It scared the shit out of me. Okay. And I almost fell off of a cliff chasing a beetle in Asia. And that's not a joke.
Nice.
I almost fell off a cliff. I actually caught a small tree as I was leaning, and I didn't even know there was a cliff there. And then I saw that most of my body was hanging over a cliff.
Wow. So you were bugging out over a bug and you didn't see it.
Telling you, man, these things, they can kill you. It's not always about sleeping sickness and dengue.
It's falling off cliffs, chasing it.
I'm telling you, man, they're gonna knock you off of a catwalk.
So I got another question. Meg asked us one, and so she just basically said, "What are your favorite cinematic bugs?" And she meant that as a blanket term for all and any variation,
which I appreciate. So I took that as basically any arthropod-like thing in a movie.
You have Aunt Blanche.
Aunt Blanche. Aunt Dot from the Golden Girls.
That's right. Wait, Blanche. So I got some weird ones. Can I kick us off?
You go right ahead.
All right,
I'll bet we're gonna overlap a bit.
In Evolution, I don't know if it's quite a bug, but I love the one that goes into Orlando Jones, and it goes into his suit, and he's running around screaming.
Yeah, dude, now he's under his skin like the ticks.
Yep, and I guess it didn't tear apart his skin. Maybe it's a different kind of bug, but I love that they flip him around, and they pull the bug out of his butt. Oh no, they're like, we're gonna have to take the leg. He's like, no, not the leg. And David Duchovny goes, no, not the leg. He thinks he's an athlete. I mean, that's a great line.
And then he goes, it's moving up to the groin. Take the leg. Take the leg.
Take the leg. Oh wait, I think I can get it from the back. And then they rip it out, and he's like, I have some ice cream. And they're like, yeah, what flavor? He's like, it doesn't matter. It's for my ass.
It's for my ass. Did you? You never potted about Evolution, have you?
Yeah, no, we need to, because I think I love the relationship between Orlando Jones and Duchovny. I think Julianne Moore has a lot of fun in it, and I really dig Stifler, Sean William Scott, being a nicer version of him. I like nice Sean William Scott.
I like everybody in that movie.
Yeah.
I even like the cop at the house. Selenium who it's very technical. It's, okay, yeah, it's technical. You guys aren't fooling me with that again. And the selenium sulfide guys.
Oh, Ethan Suplee, right? And then they almost fall into the pit.
I mean, it's all, that whole movie is solid gold.
Yeah, I've watched that movie more than probably most movies, but I just like that little fly. And there's a lot of little squishy bugs. But I just love that line. No, not the leg. He thinks he's an athlete. Like, that's a good. I don't know if they came up with that, but I love that bit. I think it's a funny moment.
That feels like a brilliant ad lib.
Yeah.
It feels like a brilliant ad lib, yeah.
I could retire with that. And there's also a scene where Duchovny's walking up after that whole operation, and they're walking back in the university. He takes his hat, and he flings it a good 20 feet, and it lands perfectly in a trash can. But a trash can with the ringer around it, the metal ringer, not just an open one. It's a perfect shot. And no one catches that, but it's a good movie. I like it. So what bug do you got?
All right, we're gonna start with horror. There's this movie from 1988 called The Nest, and it is about killer roaches. But this movie goes full tilt, batshit crazy. And remember in the remake of The Thing, at the end when she's on the Thing's ship, and it's like this big weird monster that's a combination of a bunch of people, and it has 3 faces side to side.
Yep.
you have a monster like that in the end of The Nest, because these roaches kind of merge with the DNA of what they eat, including dead people. And so it looks like this Egyptian death god of a thing with these multiple faces, and one of them has giant mandibles coming out of it. It's terrifying. It is terrifying. It is hokey awesome. It is gory as sin. It's ridiculous. I love this creature. And if anyone listening is like, if you are even like 1% interested in what I'm saying and you're a horror fan, go find The Nest. You'll thank me. There's also a roach cat.
And you have a review on this on the site, right?
Oh, of course. Of course I do. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so
there's a picture of this creature. There's a picture of this multiple human-faced creature in the review. And I have the roach cat in the review. They're not the best pictures, but some of these obscure 80s movies, you can't find a lot of screen grabs.
Yeah, you gotta read this review, because you have a bunch of pictures on there, so at least you'll get a vibe of it, right?
Oh, but I mean, yeah, like if you like gore or you like fun 80s horror, if you like ticks, if you even like ticks a little, like go watch The Nest. You'll thank me.
I got a weird one. This is Beetle from Kubo and the Two Strings, voiced by Matthew McConaughey.
That's a good choice.
I think it's one of the most beautiful to look at movie. I watched it again recently, and I was just transfixed. I've watched it 3 times, and every time I just stare at the screen. But I just like that there's a beetle who can handle swords and is voiced by Matthew McConaughey.
He was a really cool character.
Yeah, I love that movie. And then there's Monkey? That helps him out.
Monkey's the best character, I think.
Yeah, and then you have the little paper mache. And I thought Rooney Mara, her voice work was very effective in that. Oh, it's just a beautiful looking movie, and Matthew McConaughey voices the beetle.
Yeah, you said a nice one, so now I'm going to go with a nice one. Remember the ant that the kids were riding in their backyard in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Man, I got that on my list too.
And that ant was so nice, and it helped. And then they encountered the scorpion, and it defended them against the scorpion. And when that ant died, that was like when we lost Artax in the Never-Ending Story.
Yeah, I could count it on one hand, like 3 fingers. E.T., when E.T.'s laying in that ditch, right? Just going, looking all gross. And then Artax, one of the... is it Artax? Atreyu.
Atreyu was the kid.
Oh, yeah, Artax. You're right. The horse. What a brutal, horrible scene. And then the ant. Man, it fought a scorpion, dude.
Which is funny, because either that was the biggest ant that anyone's ever had in their backyard, or that was the smallest scorpion everyone's ever had in their backyard, because they were very comparable in size.
What a great ant. What a neat practical effect. Josh Gad is going to remake that movie, of all people.
As the dad?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it could be fun. I mean, with all the visual effects nowadays, I think it could look pretty cool. All right, so let's see. I got a weird one, but in 8-Legged Freaks, there's a spider that goes, woohoo!
What?
Yeah, so there's a scene where David Arquette is shooting, and when he says you 8-legged freaks, there's a spider that it kind of like repels after him as he's going into the mall, and the spider's like, yee-haw! So a spider makes that noise in that movie.
I have still never seen that movie.
You've never?
And it's not because I don't want to see it. It's not because I don't want to see it. It's not. You've been raving about it on and off for like a decade, I feel like.
I have it on Vudu.
I've watched that.
Yeah, it's hokey done right. It has Scarlett Johansson when she was like 18, Carrie Werner, David Arquette. It has a very fun, hokey, nostalgic vibe to it. And it has almost maybe like an Evolution type vibe, or like a Slither where PG-13 and not written by James Gunn, if that makes sense. But it has
I just took a pretentious sip of my old Rasputin, and my brow rose as you said Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, she's in it. She's riding dirt bikes in it. Carrie Werner's her mom. Yeah, this is a young cat. I like Arquette a lot. Oh, Dougie Doug is in it. I'm a huge Cool Runnings fan, so I'm happy about that. And it's fun. I really enjoyed it. I was working in a theater when it came out, and of course no one watched it. But for some reason I connected with it. I dig it. Bloody Disgusting. They just released a really cool article about it that I read. But no, I love that movie. I have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, there's a spider that's like, yeehaw!
That's weird. I actually saw a GIF on Twitter yesterday of a giant trapdoor spider coming out of the ground and grabbing a woman, like wrapping around her waist and pulling her under. I assume that was from Eight-Legged Freaks.
Yeah, it's got to be, because I think there are some big ones in that. And was it an older lady?
Couldn't tell. It was like too small on the screen.
Yeah, it could be. It's worth watching, man. It really is. Which one? What else you got?
Okay, the scarab beetles that were like piranhas in The Mummy.
Oh, they tore people apart.
Which, God, boy, this is unintentional. Which also go under your skin and move around, and you see the bumps under your skin.
Yeah, and they don't hurt that much. So at least this one was believable the way it ripped apart everything, right? Ticks.
Right, except when they overtake your body, though, they leave a skeleton.
Oh yeah, dude,
right? Then they're ridiculous.
Those scarabs were, man.
Which is funny because scarab beetles, I'm pretty sure that there is not a single predaceous scarab beetle on the planet.
Well, these are ancient Egyptian dinosaur.
Right. Because they're dung beetles and like fruit beetles, and it's a fun take on them. Fun take on them. They
rip people apart. Benny got ripped up by them, right?
He did, and remember when they first entombed Imhotep? Yeah. First they wrapped him up, and then they poured in like a big jar, a big canopic jar kind of thing of scarab. But I'm surprised they aren't scared that one of them would get out. Yeah, they just dumped him, they just crawling all over him, and he's like. Brrr!
And a bunch of red shirts got scarab too.
Yep. They got scarabed.
Hey, I like that. I got one that might blow your mind. I don't know if you're going to agree with it, but I'm going to say the graboids from Tremors.
I think that's fair.
Because they're something bug-esque.
I mean, we don't even know. They might be the larval form of a yet more gigantic arthropod.
Holy crap, living in the center of the earth?
Like, because, like an antlion at the bottom of its pit, that turns into something that looks more like a dragonfly.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's just like a larval thing. Oh. So like, and which brings me to one of my choices, which was the Seti eels from Star Trek Wrath of Khan.
I don't know what those are.
And they also, by the way, look like immature antlions, or the antlions at the bottom of pits. So it's this little wormy thing, right? And it has like these big, long kind of jaws. And what they did was they stuck it. The thread is that they put it in your ear, and it will drill into your brain and lay eggs, and you'll slowly go mad as the larvae feed and gestate. You don't remember the Seti eels from Star Trek?
Yeah, you're right. I just don't know what an antlion is, and I'm looking at pictures of it, and they're terrifying.
And if you look up, listeners as well, if you now look up pictures of adult antlion, you'll see that they turn into something that just seems like it's a different world in the animal kingdom.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, we're learning today. We're learning something today.
Wow, they do look like it. I just didn't know what an antlion looked like. Oh, yeah, the Seti eels.
And what else is really interesting is that more than a dragonfly or a damselfly or most other insects, if you look head on at the face of an antlion, it has a head that's shaped a little like a praying mantis, but it has more of a top of the head. And the face of an antlion is actually really close to the image that we use for the Greys, for aliens. Oh. Like those little gray people with the big heads and the big eyes. Yeah. The shape of an antlion adult head is just so strikingly similar to that. I can't help but to think that, maybe 100 years ago, someone was flipping through an old entomological journal, saw an artist rendition, and just came up with an idea for what an alien would look like.
Oh, I love it.
And I'm not the first one to say this. I've heard this from entomology professors like 20 years ago saying this stuff.
I see an article coming out. All right, I'm just gonna knock out a couple, and then I'm gonna finish with one. But I also added Antony from Ant-Man, but I mostly just like the name. In King Kong, there are those really crazy bugs that eat. Remember in the Jack Black King Kong, the one that eats Andy Serkis's head?
Oh, you're talking about those leeches?
Yeah, or the nightmare bugs in that pit.
So, and there were those leech-like things, right? And there were also the Mormon crickets.
They were terrifying, weren't they?
The Mormon crickets were those things that almost looked like grasshopper things, and they had the big mandibles. And Adrian Brody was like fighting one away. By the way, they're really big in real life. Like they can be a couple inches long, and their bite hurts more than most insects. Whoever came up with that in that movie had encountered one. I'm almost certain of it. You remember handling one of them.
And then I'm going to put the bugs from the bug creature from Constantine, the rock spiders from Apollo 18, but I'm going to finish.
Oh, the rock spider!
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Give me back my rocks. The rock spiders, but I'm going to end with Edgar the Bug from Men in Black. And you got more, of course, but I just love Edgar the Bug. I love the cockroaches.
Edgar.
Remember when Will Smith is smushing all the cockroaches? Hey, that was your cousin.
Yep.
Smushing them all, and then Edgar punches him in the face.
The Edgar was great. I liked Edgar more in his Edgar suit than when he was just in full bug form.
Vincent D'Onofrio? Oh, he was so funny.
Right. So for me, I've got the shady grifter mimicking Roach from Mimic.
Yeah, that guy was shifty.
The one scene though where you see it up close and you actually see that it pulls its front legs from over its head, which are creating kind of that human visage. That one scene for me makes the movie so much. Like, that was awesome. I've got the big brain bug from Starship Troopers.
Yes.
That sucks brains. I've got the based on a real life thing, isopod monsters from the Bay.
Oh, those things are creepy.
Those things, if you did a Google search for tongue-eating louse, you will find Cymathoa exigua, which is a deep sea isopod, kind of related to a roly-poly, and that's what this movie is based on. The giant flies, which are like robber flies from the Mist in the grocery store scene.
Oh, yeah. And the spiders, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, with their
those
acid
mean
web.
Spiders.
The acid web.
Ugh.
Ready? And I'm going to close with the nice one. The amber embedded mosquito in Hamilton's cane in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Because that led to the storytelling with the I'm DNA.
oh, the animated guy too, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, we got a good list here, John.
Yeah. I didn't even say all of them, but a couple.
Oh
of
wait,
them
keep going. I want to hear it. Hear it.
The giant scorpions from both the original and the remake of Clash of the Titans.
Oh yeah.
Those action scenes with them striking with their stingers and people getting grabbed by the pinchers, very exciting. I love it, even in the remake, which isn't a spectacular remake, but it doesn't do honor to the original, but it's a lot of fun.
They're cool looking.
Oh, they're awesome looking. And then the Scorpion Transformer in Afghanistan in Transformers.
Oh, and from the good one.
Oh,
the first Transformers.
Yeah, is the good movie, right? Yeah, like I thought you meant the good Transformer. It's like, it was pretty mean. It was messing up Josh Duhamel and Tyrese Gibson.
Yeah, that thing was sweet.
And then my one last one was that what the crap giant sewer monster bug that grabbed one of the good guys in Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh.
Because that thing had like antennae and
that was a
segmented limbs.
That was a demon bug.
Like that was some buggy thing. That thing came out, it just grabbed someone, and then Egg Shen throws one of his 6 demon windbag whatever pebbles in there, and then they just keep going like nothing happened.
He's like, he will never come back. And you're like, what?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
it's like,
man.
what was that? Many dark creatures.
Yeah, don't worry about that one. Man, this was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I kind of want to talk more bugs. Jerry Seinfeld from B-Movie. No, but this was fun, man. Do you have any last things to say about ticks before we get out of here?
So, Mark, I had asked you in a message, and I would like you to just reverbalize it for our listeners, that when I asked you to watch this, and you knew I was excited about it,
yeah,
and then you watched it, were you thinking, holy crap, John was right, this was awesome? Or were you thinking, what the hell was John thinking?
I was somewhere in the middle. I was annoyed at first, and then the movie just kind of grew on me a little bit, right? I think I was in the middle. I was somewhere between what is John thinking, and then I was somewhere in the middle of what is John thinking, if that makes sense. No, wait, what is John thinking? Or what the hell is John thinking? So I was somewhere in the middle of that. I was, but the movie won me over, man, because it has personality. And at the end of the day, if a movie has personality, I think it's worth watching, you know?
Oh, yeah. And for our listeners, this is, at least at this moment right now, it's the middle of May. It's still streaming on Amazon. And for years and years, if you did not buy this in the 90s and own it, you wouldn't be able to rent it or stream it anywhere. You had to find someone who owned a copy. who was probably trying to sell it for $100 online. So it streaming right now is a big deal for fans of the more obscure gems of B horror. And I think this is one of the gems of B horror.
It's worth a watch. It has personality for sure.
It's got some great fun gore and creature effects for a B movie.
I mean, this has K&B in it, dude. Kurtzman and like Nicotero.
Oh.
That's nuts. Some really like talent working on this movie. But no, man, this was fun. So I'm glad you recommended this to me.
Yep, I watched it as soon as I had time after I found out it was streaming on Amazon Prime. As soon as I could, I watched it.
Saved $150.
Right.
Because I know you,
dude,
John.
I'm not lying. Last year, before I started a big home renovation project, I was thinking about buying it.
You, with a couple old Rasputins, would have bought this in a couple months. I guarantee it. So I'm glad it went on Amazon Prime.
Two old Rasputins will result in some obscure purchases. Right now, I'm only 2/3 or half the way through one of these things.
All right, well, hey, this was fun. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for John Levengood, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.